It is so hard not to think about the money, man. It really is. I'm sure you guys feel the same way as well, especially when you're in a trade. You're looking at your P&L, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can make this much amount of money, or oh my gosh, I'm about to lose this much amount of money. It's something that we have to get away from. It's something that we have to understand that thinking about the money is only going to slow us down. It's only going to create an obstacle from where we actually want to go. If we're constantly having our minds on how much we can make, or oh, I missed this trade, I would have made this much, or oh, I shouldn't have lost this much, it's going to detract from the trading that we're actually supposed to be doing. If our setup is there, if our setup is present, that's the trade that we're supposed to take. If it's not there, we don't take that trade. It's really that simple, but it's not easy at all. Why? Because again, you're thinking about, well, if I take this trade and it goes up and it hits this level, then I make $1,000. And if it continues going higher, it's like you start thinking about all of these possibilities. It's all of these things that you're thinking about in your mind that end up making you suffer. It's crazy because you really start imagining this life where, wow, if I have, like, let's say for me, one thought that comes up in my mind sometimes is, oh, if I have $500 winning days this whole week, I could be eligible to take a payout and it would be my biggest payout ever. And it's like, why am I even thinking that way? What's causing me to think that way? And this whole weekend, that's literally all I've been doing. I've been doing anything I can. Not that I've been thinking about money. I have been thinking about money, but I've been doing everything I can to rewire my brain to where every single time that thought pops up, I'm like, nope, not thinking about that. Nope, that's the wrong way to think about it. And when I traded today or last night, what I was thinking about when I was in the trade was this is a good setup. I'm taking it. This is where my stop loss is. That's it. And if it hits, it hits. In that trade, if it hit my ultimate TP, it would have been like $1,700. Now we only won $500, but I don't care because it hit where I wanted it to go, at least initially. And if it continued, sure, it would have been an amazing trade, but it didn't. We got stopped out, we made our money, and we move on. But I'm not concerned about the money. When I took that trade, I was just like, okay, let's just see how it goes. And there was a point where I was actually about to get stopped out before it continued because I moved my stop loss higher, thinking we had confirmed, which we did. But at the same time, I was like, wow, like I'm about to lose. And that was it. That's all I thought about. It wasn't any type of emotional attachment towards it. It wasn't anything like, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose. We're about to lose $350. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I shouldn't have moved my stop loss. I shouldn't have added so much there. I thought we could. It's like, nope. It's like, well, it didn't work. And it had all the makings that was going to work. And I guess it doesn't work. But it did end up bouncing, ended up working out for me. It's difficult though. It's so difficult. My last payout, if you guys have seen, was about $600, $595. And recently, part of it is my fault, right? Due to my procrastination. That's a whole another subject. But I had to renew my license for physical therapy. The deadline's coming up in a couple weeks or so. And I have procrastinated for so long. Something I wanted to do by end of September, I did not even do. I started doing it this past week to renew it. And part of doing that, you have to take courses and classes that count towards hours for you to be able to renew your license. And I needed 24 hours. I needed 12 live classes, meaning that you have to partake in live webinars or seminars for those hours to count towards your license renewal. And I procrastinated and I did them all last week. I did them all. I did them all. But because I waited so long, it ended up costing me about my whole license renewal ended up costing me about $600. So my whole payout, thank God for that, ended up paying for my whole license renewal. So that way I can actually keep my stable income because right now trading is not a stable income. It is very sporadic. The fact that I'm even getting payouts, this year is has been amazing. But it's not something that's consistent. It's not something I can rely upon. It's not something that I know will always be there for me. My job will, as long as I have my license. So I had to do that, and I had to spend that money. Again, I could have saved money if I had not um, procrastinated so long. So that's on me. But that's my thinking a lot of times. It's like, okay, how am I going to pay for this? What are we going to do for that? Christmas is coming up. How am I going to pay for these gifts? What am I going to buy? How much is it going to be? Rent is coming up soon in a couple of weeks. How much am I like? Do you see what I'm saying? It's so hard not to think about it, but you have to let go. You have to let go. Especially when you're trading, you have to let go and just say, you know what? Like, I am not thinking about my P&L. I am not thinking about how much I'm going to make on this trade. I'm not thinking about how much I could potentially lose on this trade. I'm just thinking, like, is it hitting or is it doing everything I want it to do? And if it's not, should I bail or should I not take the trade or should I cut it early? Whatever the case is, whatever your setup is, whatever your model is, that's literally what you have to do in order for yourself to be profitable. And I'm just trying so hard in my mind to ingrain that in myself and say that a profitable trader does not care about losing a trade. They don't care about if they have a losing month. They don't care about whether this trade didn't work today and then the same trade doesn't work tomorrow, even though they know they have the statistical data that this pattern, this model, their strategy ends up working over time. They don't care about the next 10 trades. Like, and that's why it's so difficult because as a beginner trader, I'm sure you guys have, most of you guys, I'm sure, have been trading less than 3 years. That's still in the beginning, right? You still have experience, of course you do. But your mindset, if you're not working on it every single day, if you're not saying, okay, I don't care about the money. I'm not worried about the money. I'm not worried about how much I make, how much I lose. I'm just worried about the process and the types of trades that I take. If you're not saying that to yourself every single day, I promise you, you will slip up. It will happen. And we're going to slip up regardless. But if you're not keeping that in the back of your mind every day, like you're going to slip up way more often than someone who keeps that in the back of their head every single day. It's hard. We got bills to pay. We got mouths to feed. We got a lot of things to do. It's difficult. I mean, even if you're living at your mom's house, your parents' house, like you still want to have money of your own. You don't want somebody else continuously feeding you the whole time, paying for your things the whole time, right? You're looking at trading as an opportunity, as a way for you to be able to do that for yourself. But if you continue thinking about, okay, well, if I make this much money, I can move out, I can buy this car, I can, do this, do that. Like, I promise you, you continue doing that, you will never grasp what you really need to do in order to actually succeed in trading. It won't happen. And the opposite goes for when you take losses too. I know it's not exactly the same thing, but man, if you're taking losses, like you're taking losses. They're lessons. It's basically like you are literally learning so much more from a loss than you ever will from a win. It's so true. Because my losses this month as a whole has taught me so much about how I care so much about money and how I care so desperately to make this work that it hasn't been working this month. It hasn't been working at all this month. I mean, look at this account. This account is blown. This today was actually I just realized it. It was actually my first winning trade this month. We're we're at November 17th. It is my first winning trade this month. So, and it's because I've been caring so much about the money. I've been trying to manipulate the market, trying to push and force the issue, trying to make sure that I win, that I've lost up until now, up until the third week of November. But yet my October was so good because I wasn't focused on the money. I wasn't focused on how much I can make. I was so focused on the process and taking good trades. Even if you are focused on the process and taking good trades, you could still lose. There's nothing wrong with that. But these psychology losses, these psych issues will not present themselves if you have the right mindset and you safeguard that the whole time. All right. Anyway, that's enough for my rant. Let's talk about the trade itself. I believe I have trade executions on, so um, let's kind of get into that here. So we'll rewind a little bit here so we can see. You'll see here, I actually ended up adding. I was just so confident in this trade, but unfortunately, it didn't hit the levels that I wanted it to hit. So what were we looking at first? Well, this is 8 o'clock, so start trading at that time. Let's delete volume profile so we can see a little bit more clearly what we're looking at. Something I'm going to start adding to in my trade recaps, this is just for me because again, this is my personal journal as well. But I need to start showing a 5 minute a little bit more so I can be like, oh, okay, this is a good trade. This is why I took the trade. But here, this is where we opened. Down here, you can see, well, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a little wick down here. Wicking through prior weak value area lows, so that is an extremely strong level, and then bouncing through, right? So for me, that's a bullish move. Overall, we have been bullish since this bottom right here as well. So that's what I was looking for us to continue to play off of that. Bring up current sessions value areas. We see point of control right here. I really do ignore this level. I always do. But then we see value area low and then value area high too. So of course value area high is the goal. But because we broke through and bounced off of prior week value area low, I'm thinking we can hit prior day value area high as well. That is my ultimate goal. And then maybe long term we can hit higher levels, but there's no guarantee. So here I'm looking to take a trade. My first execution actually ends up coming around 801 or so, right? We get this nice bounce. I think it's actually 802. I have no idea what happened. Oh, did I? Oh, no, I was hitting the right button. I have no idea why this isn't working. Well, either way, let's forget about trading view right now. End up adding here, right? Bouncing off value area lows. We have this nice move up. You pull back down. So this is where I was talking about too, right here, was where I was thinking, oh, we're gonna get stopped out because I actually had my stop loss. I moved it up from this low. I think it was actually this low. I moved it right below this consolidation area right here. In hindsight, looking at it, I'm like, I don't really like my stop loss being there. Like, I think I should have just sized less and kept my stop loss the same so that way I'm not risking so heavy. My prior day or my personal daily loss limit's at $600, but in reality, I never want to lose more than $500. And I think if I kept my stop loss down here, it would have been like six something. So I moved it to here, which actually ended up taking off like $300. So it's like 350. But we almost got tagged out. We didn't. Continued to move higher. I added some more here on confirmation. But we never had that huge follow through. This was our last big candle, and then after that, we've already hit value area high. We were so close to 104. That was actually my first target where I had some off. But we never hit it. Ended up selling 10 contracts all in all at this level here. So I ended up working out, and then from there, I looked later in the night, and we just actually fell so hard. And this is one of those trades where I'm like, wow, I was so confident that we were bullish, that we were going to head higher, but that did not happen. We chopped though, chopped for a very long time, but the market said nope. And then now, if we're looking here for today at around 2 o'clock, 2:30, we just dropped. So I was very confident that we would head higher, but that was just not the case. So let me actually show the 5 minute again so I can show why this trade actually ended up working. Again, nice almost full body top wick here as well, but on high volume, right? That's a I guess you can consider a volatility candle that 8 o'clock open. Um, but right here too, you can see this wick followed up by the 5 minute here. Looks really, really nice. This is a mini pullback. followed up, and then continued. Now, again, I was targeting at least here, but really here, this 113 level. This actually ended up being a lower high, and it just didn't follow through, which is fine. We still got our trade, but that's what I was talking about is that maybe on a different day when I take it, it actually ends up following through, and we get a bigger move, which is great. So it's a good setup. I like the setup. It's a good trade. That's all I care about. I really, starting from now, from today, this whole P&L of like showing green and red, it's like this doesn't matter to me. I'm starting from here. This was a good trade. It fit my setup. It fit all of my criteria. That's green automatically. So I'm gonna start being like those fake gurus where they like right click and like inspect the screen and then like change all of this to like green or red to show that they're actually profitable when they're actually lying. I'm gonna do that for myself to show, okay, it was a loss, but it was an excellent trade, or okay, it was a win and it was a great trade, or okay, it was a loss and it was a bad trade, or it was a win, but it was a bad trade. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, I've been yapping so much today. I really hope that you guys have taken something from this too when I say that it's so hard not to think about money, but like it really is hard not to, but we have to be able to transition our minds and rewire our brains to where we just don't think about money, especially when we're trading. It's so important when we're trading. Day to day, like it kind of makes sense. Like you got to pay for gas, you got to pay for your car, bills, whatever, right? You're going to think about money then. But like when you're in the trade, you have to just zone out completely and just be like, you know what? I'm just focused on taking my setup. I'm focused on taking my trade. I don't care if I lose. I don't care if I win. I just want to take a good setup. And that's it. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are trading well. Real quick, I do want to say too, there's less than a week now. Uh, it's probably in the next video, I'll say this in the beginning so people are actually under, like still here watching this. But there's less than a week now until um, the giveaway entry closes. So please, if you have not entered that, go into the link in the description for the Discord. Start your trading journal. We have 6 days left from the time this video comes out. So make sure you do your trading journals. Again, it's a chance to win 50K combine, or the equivalent $50 for Topstep. It has. I'm not affiliated with Topstep. I'm not affiliated with anyone. But I like using Topstep. I love Project X. I know they've had a huge debacle as of late, pulling from other platforms, which I'm actually upset about because I wanted to start using Alpha Futures and Lucid more. And they don't have Project X, so I got to go back to Tradeovate. So I'll probably use my funded futures. But so please enter the giveaway as well. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are trading well. And yeah, keep trading Stokely.